Many people have been deceived about Nikola Tesla. Who was he? What did he really do? What happened to him at the end of his life? And what became of his scientific work? You may have heard that Tesla was a suppressed genius who was written out of the history books. You might have heard that his work was stolen by the authorities, who later used it to develop direct energy weapons which brought down the Twin Towers. The people who repeat these stories have not, necessarily, all been deceived. Some of them may be intentionally deceiving others. They may even be intentionally deceiving you. And how would you know if this were the case? How would you check to see if what you've been told about Tesla has any basis in reality? One way would be to read the words of the man himself. What did Tesla say about his own life and his works? What indications did he give about the beliefs he held and the research he'd conducted? It turns out that he wrote about all of this and more, and anybody who takes the time to read Tesla in his own words will see that he is nothing like the character portrayed by certain people today. But the important question you have to ask yourself is this: if you have been deceived about Tesla, do you really want to know the truth? Most people will proclaim loudly that they not only want the truth, but that they demand the truth, and will seek the truth out no matter what that truth might be. But if this were the case, why would so many of these people still believe things about Tesla which are contradicted by Tesla's own words? Perhaps one explanation is that, although we say we want the truth, what we really want is to feel good. Sometimes it feels good to learn the truth, but sometimes it feels bad. Most of us can remember at least one instance, early in our lives, when it wasn't so nice to learn the truth. Perhaps sometimes it feels better to go on being deceived than to acknowledge that we have been deceived in the first place. If you think you may prefer to hold on to your beliefs about Tesla, then you ought to close this video right now. It can't help you in any way. If, on the other hand, you consider yourself an intelligent adult human being, capable of reassessing your own beliefs and, where necessary, modifying those beliefs, then I have some very good news for you. We all know that the best research is the research we do ourselves. Sometimes, however, life can get in the way of doing research. These days, few of us have the time we would like to dedicate to reading books and cross-checking sources. This is one of the main reasons why intentional deceivers get away with their deception. Few people take the time to double-check the claims being made. In fact, most intentional deceivers don't even bother to provide sources for their claims. They simply state whatever it is they expect you to believe and then move on to the next topic. This is why I provide sources for all of the claims I make about Tesla in my 2-hour podcast linked in the info box below. I quote from Tesla's own works and even give simple instructions on how anybody can find the primary source documentation for themselves should they so wish. Anybody who truly wants to challenge their own beliefs, anybody who wants to ensure they are not being deceived, can now do so very easily. Of course, this brings us back to the important question. If you have been deceived about Tesla, do you really want to know the truth? I'll be leaving the comments section for this video open. Comments which do not add value to the conversation may be summarily deleted. Once you've listened to the podcast for yourself, I recommend you leave your comments at johnlebon.com, where there are already over 70 comments regarding this one podcast. On that page, you'll find more insightful conversation about Tesla than on most Tesla YouTube videos combined, because so many YouTubers, especially in this scene, have been so utterly deceived about Tesla that they may never recover, intellectually or emotionally. It takes a certain strength of character and a certain level of honesty and humility for somebody who has been deceived about a historical figure to even admit it to themselves, let alone say so publicly. What's your opinion on Nikola Tesla? And what will your opinion be tomorrow? Will your opinion be based on primary source evidence, on Tesla's own words, or will your opinion be based on what you were told by deceivers, intentional or otherwise? Only you get to decide. See the info box below for a link to the podcast and its sources. Leave constructive comments in the info box below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves.